Welcome everybody. I'm Gold Leader. I'm here with Patronus, and we are doing another Harry Potter live stream.
And it is a continuation of the Heir of Slytherin previews from the HPTCG Revival group.
Yeah. So, what we thought we'd do tonight is we would cover every card that has already been spoiled, and then if you joined us for our stream last week, we spoiled the first card, which was the new Tom Marvolo Riddle character,
Mm-hmm.
and Patronus can put that on the screen now.
Can. So this is what we spoiled last week.
First card spoiled. We're going to go through all the cards spoiled, and then we are going to play a deck featuring Tom as the main character.
Mm-hmm. We're using the cards that people suggested we use to build a deck last week when we previewed this card.
Yeah. So I had to obviously make some cuts because we had way too many cards.
Correct.
And I was trying to. I really don't know how to build decks in this game. I don't play enough. So I was trying to do really research and try and make something that was my own, and then we'll test it out against like the good McGonagall deck. I might get crushed.
If you do, we'll downgrade to one of our other chibi decks.
But it's fine. It'll help me. I learn by losing, so I don't get mad if I get crushed. And there was a couple cards I added because I noticed in the McGonagall deck it does play 2 copies of Pep Talk,
Right.
and we did not have.
Do we have an extra one to throw up on camera, or should I pull it out of the deck?
We have an extra one. We did not have an answer if that pep talk was played on us. So that is an uncommon adventure. Here's uncommons. So I will toss one up on the stream. Pep talk. Really hard to see. Oh, you've got the other. Got the Tom on screen still. So this card basically can't be dealt with unless you play something with a cost of 8 or more, or something that discards a adventure. We have 4 picking on Neville's, so we could do that as an answer.
Yeah, but
and one Dobby's disappearance.
Yeah, I can always pay the cost of discarding 2 cards from play to negate the picking on Neville, though. So if it's really wrecking your day, I'm probably going to discard things from play in order to keep.
That's probably true, which is why I added 4 cards that costed 8 in the deck to hopefully deal with it.
All right.
And so what I ended up settling on is a deck that is all 5 colors.
First one that I know of. Which is kind of fun.
And it might be 5-color good stuff. It might be 5-color terrible stuff. We will find out. So while I'm sleeving up, I want to have Patronus cycle through the previews, and I'd really like to get people's opinion. And let's kind of just chat about all these cards because I know people have seen them and have been marinating on them a while. So I would just like to have an open discussion with the chat and see what people think.
All right, so the first one we'll look at the other characters that were previewed. First one being Lucius Malfoy. So he obviously is a wizard. His ability at the end of each of your turns, if you have taken 5 or more actions, you may search your deck, take any card, put it in your hand, and shuffle your deck. 5 or more actions seems bananas.
Well, yeah. Well, you have to do that to do his thing.
Right. So I guess he's a money deck?
Well, there's also 70-something other cards that haven't been revealed yet.
That's true.
So he could be something that is built around with the new Heir of Slytherin decks, or new Heir of Slytherin cards, or he's a money deck, because
which would make sense. The Malfoys are
right.
Crazy rich.
They're very rich. So it could just be you have to play all the sickles and all the nuts and.
How many extra actions do you get with each of those money cards?
So I think the way they work is the cheapest one gets you 1 extra. The next one up gets you 2 extra, and the final one gets you 3.
So you have to just play galleons, basically.
No, I think you play them all, and I think what you do is kind of like
1 per turn.
Oh, that's right. They can only have. You can only play 1 per turn, and then
they have to activate on the next turn, as we learned. So thank you guys, because you guys put
So
posted that in the comments on our
even
videos.
with a galleon though, that doesn't allow you to get to 5 actions,
Well,
does
if
it?
you said it gives you 3, does it cost an action
Let's
to
see.
activate the money? I
I'm
don't think
looking.
so. It
Are
just says at the start of your
galleons,
turn
are they
you use it.
rare? I don't know.
Probably. It's the most expensive money type.
Let's see. I'm
I
gonna
guess I
look.
can pull it up online.
Galleon's the most expensive money type?
Yeah.
They might be in a deck.
I doubt it.
What is it?
It is a rare
Oh, it's a rare
item.
So
that costs
we
10.
might not even have it. Costs 10.
Yeah.
Oh, we have 1 in foil, a galleon.
So I'll turn Lucius off for a second here.
You can only play 1 money card each turn. Before your turn, if this card's in play, discard it, and you get 3 more actions.
Yeah.
So that's the only. It's a foil. It's gonna be probably hard to see.
You can at least read the card.
It's pretty hard to
get that in play.
Yeah. So there's probably something we don't know about yet.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's my guess.
I'll be interested to see, and honestly, finding ways to do a bunch of cool actions sounds like a fun deck strategy. I'll be very interested to see what they're releasing that will allow us to trigger his ability.
Yeah,
at least once or twice a game.
Maybe it's built around that, and we just don't know. I mean,
Maybe.
I really don't know, honestly.
It seems relatively thematic if you have to just play a bunch of money in order to have that be a thing.
Yeah.
Since the Malfoys are just crazy rich jerks.
Yep.
So we'll see how that plays out. Very excited to see new characters like that are being released. Another character is an older headmaster. It is Armando Dippet. And his ability at the end of each of your turns, if you played a Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, or Slytherin card, you may draw a card or do 2 damage to an opponent. So I think that's interesting for sure.
So yeah, that one's like as long as you're playing a house card.
Correct.
So I don't even know.
I don't know what house cards are there. I know there's some locations that are for the houses and stuff.
Let's just is there anyone? Oh, there's someone in chat. Maybe they could help us. Okay, so yes. So here is Gryffindor common. It has the Gryffindor keyword.
Yeah.
So it'd be cards with those keywords on it.
Yeah, I don't know
so
how
I'm
many there are right
locations,
now.
items. There wouldn't be spells.
Welcome, C. Torres. Says it's going to be a great character control deck. Very excited about that.
Oh, okay. So you have to play lots of characters.
Okay.
That's Carlos Torres, by the way, from Pastimes.
Oh, hi, Carlos.
I'm assuming C. Torres.
I would, maybe. I'm guessing yes, because there's a smiley face that just came across.
Yep.
Hi, Carlos. So, yeah, I'll be interested in seeing what other cards are released in this new set that have those house keywords.
And going back to see which ones already exist, because we've never really paid attention to it before.
It hasn't really been relevant. So that could be really cool. Obviously, there's lots of items in Harry Potter lore that are affiliated with each of the houses and the founders of each of the houses.
Right.
I.e. all of the
there's
Horcruxes.
The Basilisk Fang is not.
No.
So I'm looking at some of the new cards.
Is the Slytherin Basilisk one? We'll preview him in a second.
Oh, the Slytherin is that
right
a?
Is it a Slytherin card?
Creature, Slytherin, snake, unique.
Is. Okay.
So there you go.
Interesting. All right. I'll be excited to kind of see how that plays out. It seems like he's going to be very agnostic to what type of deck or what type of strategy you're using because he can go off of any house keyword. So I kind of like that. I think it'll be interesting to see what they come up with as good components or nice pieces that can go with
his
that.
ability is at the end of your turn.
Correct. If you played one of the house cards.
So, and what Carlos is alluding to is that you're going to be able to, you're basically going to play a control deck, and that guy's going to be your win condition. So you're just going to be playing as many of these cards that are just preventing your opponent from doing things,
Okay.
and you're going to kill them with the leader ability. I think that's what he's thinking.
Okay.
Which,
well, and
that makes
obviously,
sense.
I think most of the
Kinda-
characters probably are one of the house affiliations.
Yeah.
So
you might be
just playing lots of characters
and
as
that's
well and
right.
triggering some of those abilities.
Right. Think of this guy as kind of
Speaking of characters, do we actually have the Professor McGonagall character card?
Yeah, it's right here.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
So this card, I think of it almost like Millstone from Magic. Like it's just negging you for 2 every turn.
Well, it's yeah, for sure. It could be for sure. All right, well, let's move on. Those are the characters that have been previewed. We do have an adventure card that has been previewed as well, Wandering Nocturne. Play this card only if you have at least 5 lessons in play. The effect, after your opponent uses an action to play a creature or item, they discard that card from play. To solve the adventure, your opponent discards 2 cards in this way, and the opponent's reward, your opponent may put up to 2 lessons from their discard pile into play.
Mm-hmm.
Adventures are always kind of a pain, it seems like, for your opponent to deal with. Basically, this just says the first 2 items or creatures that you would play, you don't get to play. Or have in play, I should say.
No, what this one does is if you have a guy in play... when you play, the first thing you play, you're going to have to lose it.
The second and 2.
No.
The first,
No.
Yes, because the only way you solve it is you have to discard 2 cards in this way.
Hold on, let me look at this card. So, after your opponent uses an action to play a creature or item, they discard that card from play. To solve, your opponent discards 2 cards in this way.
Yeah. So the first 2 creatures or items that you would play as soon as this card is put out are discarded. You still have to pay their cost. Not that there's really a paying of cost. It's really a cost threshold in this game. But so that's kind of interesting.
This seems like a really good card if you're already winning. If you're already winning the game, it's kind of a keeping your opponent behind type card. It seems like to me.
Yeah.
Like if you're behind, that card's going to do nothing for you.
Yes.
If you're
well, it might help you catch up because it'll make your opponent take a turn or 2 off from playing things that are persistent.
But you're not dealing with really what's on the board. You're preventing from playing something new.
Correct.
And then you're spending your actions to play that card. So that card seems better if almost in some kind of aggression-based deck.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know everything about this game, so I could be wrong.
Carlos is saying the same thing. It's probably a finisher kind of card where you're already ahead and you're just trying to preserve your lead.
Yeah.
All right. And then we have a creature, Slytherin's Basilisk. He is a 9-cost creature. Obviously, he is a snake, and obviously, he is unique. There is only one Slytherin Basilisk. To play this card, discard 2 of your Care of Magical Creatures lessons from play. At the end of each of your turns, put a petrification counter on a creature or character. Cards with petrification counters lose all abilities and do no damage. When this card leaves play, remove all petrification counters from play. This card cannot be played if there is a rooster in play. It deals 6 damage every turn and it has 6 health.
A rooster? Like the chicken?
Yeah.
Is that a thing from Harry Potter? I don't even know.
No, although maybe it's supposed to just be a tie into a fox because fox blinds him. But fox is a phoenix, not a rooster.
Yeah.
So I'm not totally sure what that's about.
I mean, this card seems cool.
Carlos says the same thing. As a fan, I'm drawing a blank. Since when was there a rooster arch rival to a basilisk? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I remember Fox poking him in the eye.
Yeah, Fox blinds him.
Yeah.
He, literally pokes his eyes out or tears his eyes out or whatever. So that makes more sense.
Maybe it's a joke.
Maybe?
Yeah, I mean...
I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens when the rest of
this card seems crazy good, though. I mean, 9 for a creature that does 6 damage.
And basically turns off other creatures or characters.
Yeah, but the way this works is at the end of each of your turns, you put a petrification counter on a character or... Oh my gosh, you could do it on your opponent's creatures?
Yes.
That's ridiculous. I thought it was yours.
No.
This card seems
It's
insane.
It's not a may though. It's a requirement.
So if they don't have
if you
any,
don't have any,
you're doing it to
you're doing it to yourself, which actually makes a lot of sense because the basilisk is kind of like Medusa in that anything it looks at, it just turns into stone, basically.
Right. Well, that seems very thematic and very cool. It actually seems like a good card too.
It does.
Like I think if you could probably play around that type of a card. I do like seeing. When I was looking through cards for decks and stuff, I was surprised how many just vanilla creatures there are. And like
that's probably.
I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing because creatures are so powerful.
Right.
But it is interesting now to see some creatures, more creatures with abilities. Obviously, it's a lot of rare creatures have abilities.
Yes. Yeah, but I think he's very cool. He seems super thematic. Other than the rooster thing.
We'll have to get an explanation on what the rooster is.
Yeah, agreed. All right, and speaking of basilisks, the other card here is a potions item, a basilisk fang.
I was so excited for this card just for the flavor alone.
Yeah, it's super on
Look at
point
that
with
art,
the flavor.
by the way.
Oh, it's beautiful. All the artwork is actually really great.
Yeah.
So this is, as I said, a potions item. It costs 6. When you play this card, do 2 damage to an opponent or to a creature of your choice. You may use an action to discard this card from play. If you do, choose an opponent's item in play and discard it.
What a cool card.
Love it.
I love that card.
So thematic, dealing damage to people.
Yeah, and that was kind of one of my
creatures.
One of my, if you call it a problem, but one of my things that I thought Harry Potter could use some improvement on was like balance of like abilities throughout the colors. Like I felt like when I was like trying to initially learn how to play this game, build decks, I'm like, man, all these decks are running blue and red, and all the like kill a creature cards are in blue. And so like when I was playing with people, all they were doing is playing blue decks with creatures splashing red, or blue decks with creatures splashing green. And I hardly ever saw any Quidditch. And when I tried to make a Quidditch deck, it was so difficult because all my cards don't interact with my opponent.
Right.
And if they do interact with my opponent gets to choose the interaction. And you all know, if y'all ever played Magic before, anytime a card lets your opponent choose, he's never choosing the thing that's going to benefit you.
Right.
So it's always
unless he has no choice.
It's always bad when a card says your opponent gets to choose.
Yeah.
If all the Quidditch cards were like you got to choose the card, unless it was a card from discarding from their hand, fine, let them choose that. But a discard from play, it would make Quidditch a lot better.
I agree. But no, I think this Basilisk Fane is super cool.
I think
totally
it's great.
flavorful, on point. Love that it deals damage to creatures and players. I love that you can use it to get rid of an item. Items are a lot of times I feel like hard to interact with. And as me trying to get rid of or interact with my opponent's items, I feel like that's a hard thing to do other than picking on Neville, which there's an out to that, or other things that target, a particular card on your opponent's board. But as you said, a lot of the cards don't allow you, the player of the card, to choose what gets discarded, or there's an out for your opponent.
Right. And that's really just in the Quidditch pie, which I feel like Quidditch,
I feel like it's that way in a lot of the other colors, too.
I was looking. There's a lot of cards in...
you just might not be super familiar with them.
Yeah, I mean... You have not seen as many cards as I've seen.
All right, and then the last preview card.
Is that the last one already?
One more.
Oh, wow. Going fast.
Mandrake Draught. It is another potions card that is a healing spell. Love this. This
is the signature image they did for the set. I love the picture of this card.
It looks super cool. And obviously it makes perfect sense for an Heir of the Slytherin kind of Chamber of Secrecy themed
Choose
deck.
one of your characters in play that has a once per turn ability that you have already used this turn. Use that ability again.
Without using any actions.
That's, Well, that makes sense because, the card itself is an action.
Correct.
So you get to play that card and get to basically use an ability.
A once per turn ability. Yeah.
And it's only really a once per turn ability on a character.
Correct.
So that card seems pretty bombastic in the...
Arthur Weasley deck?
Well, no, I was thinking the Armando Dip It deck where at the end of each of your turns, if you've played a Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, or Slytherin card, you may draw a card or do two to your opponent. If this deck's going to be filled with characters,
True.
right? Then you
True.
play the Mandrake,
Uh-huh.
and you can use the abilities on those characters again.
Yeah. I'm just reading. Carlos said he might have to use. I'm thinking probably either Mandrake or maybe the Fang in a control deck because it combos with Colin Creevy, which we have a Colin Creevy deck.
Colin Creevy. I don't even know who
He's
that is.
He's with the Wizard's Chess deck.
The Wizard Chess. Oh,
Wizard's
that
Chess.
deck. That's the deck we probably play the least.
Oh no, that's Justin Fitzpatrick. Colin Creevy. I know who he is as a character, but I don't know him in the game.
Colin Creevy.
Colin Creevy, Harry Potter TCG.
I don't think we own him.
He is a rare character.
Yeah, I don't think we actually own him.
Once per turn, you may use an action to draw 3 cards and then make your opponent draw 3 cards. So probably combo with Mandrake Draw to use that ability.
Oh, actually, we do own one, but it's only in foil, so it's very hard for me to read.
Fair. And then, yeah. So apparently, that's his starting character for a control deck.
Okay.
And then Big Meek did a nice long flavor post all about the basilisk.
Really? About the roosting?
Maybe. Let's see. Of the many fearsome beasts and monsters that roam our land, there is none more curious or deadly than the basilisk, known as the king of serpents. The snake, which may reach gigantic size and live many hundreds of years, is born from a chicken's egg, hatched beneath a toad. Its methods of killing are most wondrous, for aside from its deadly and venomous fangs, the basilisk has a murderous stare, and all who are fixed with the beam of its eye shall suffer instant death. Spiders flee before the basilisk, for it is their mortal enemy, and the basilisk flees only from the crowing of the rooster, which is fatal to it. Oh,
I had no clue.
Me either. That's probably literally the only time it's ever referenced in any book. That does sound familiar, though.
Whoever posted that,
Big
well
Meek,
done.
Played.
Yeah.
You must have read Chamber of Secrets recently.
That's incredible. I did not know that.
There we go. Now we know. So good job, guys. Then apparently flavorful, but
deep cut
flavor.
Hey, that's something
I'm okay with it.
I will never forget that now.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
I think that's very cool.
All right. Is there any cards that anyone wants to talk about? Combos from the previews we've gone through? If anyone wants to talk about them, we can go. If not, I can kind of start going over the deck that I put together.
Yeah,
you guys can tell me how terrible it is.
Yeah, I think just start going through your deck here, and as people chime in, I'll.
Okay. So I'm gonna turn this. So I made this deck myself. So
is that caveat for this is probably gonna be really bad? You know, normally you're very good at building decks.
But I don't. All right, so I am very good at building decks. Normally, I have built quite a few championship decks for other games, and done very well. But the caveat being, I don't know this game like I know Magic or like I know Star Wars. We just found this game last Gen Con.
Or 2 Gen Cons ago, maybe. But
no,
yeah.
It was last Gen Con when we bought all those cards.
Was it?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
So it was just last Gen Con. So
sad face Gen Con, we'd be there right now. So sad.
Yeah.
That's okay. We're here with all of you guys, so it's not as good, but still fun.
All right. So here's what I did, and you guys can tell me if this is just bad. So what we talked about on stream was a 5-color good stuff deck of some sort to take advantage of Tom's ability.
Mm-hmm.
People had put out a lot of suggestions on different cards that we should play. I actually have all the suggestions of cards I did not play, still just sitting here, because if I needed to tweak the deck. The problem I had was the cards didn't all seem to go together in any way.
Sure.
There wasn't like a...
Which happens a lot of time when you're playing 5-color good stuff.
Well, it's also just people were on
synergy.
stream and just saying, hey, play this card.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
True.
So we didn't have a strategy. So for me, if we're going to just play good stuff and we don't really have a strategy, what I did was I took the creatures that everyone recommended we play. Mm-hmm. I cut 2 of them just to keep it at 12.
Yeah, there was a lot that people suggested.
We had a lot. So what I and I'll put these on camera. So we got 4 copies of Sandstone Gargoyle. I'm under the impression that this type of creature with that effect is just good. So I went with 4 copies of that. Then I went with 4 copies of Black Bat. Black Bat is essentially just a decently cost creature that has a enter the battlefield trigger. When it comes into play, it does a thing, which is a good thing. It damages your opponent. 2 copies of Marble Gargoyle, which is just the uncommon version, same type of effect as Sandstone, but just the uncommon
just not
version.
As big. Yep.
And then 2 copies of Errol. Errol works with our ability. He puts a lesson into play, so we get a free we'll get actually 2 free lessons essentially when he triggers. People had suggested I put the books in the deck, and they originally just suggested I just play 4 of one book. But I thought we're doing 5-color deck.
Yeah.
So let's play 1 of all the books.
Sure. Why not?
My thought around doing the 1 of all the color books is when I play a lesson, I'll always have the color to play whatever book I want. Mm-hmm. And once the book's in play, if I get to a turn where I can't play a lesson, I will still have like this color card in play to play my cards.
That makes sense because, as you said, Tom needs to play a lesson in order to use his ability.
Yeah, play a lesson to get you 1 of any type. So my thought is if I play 1 of each of all the books, and then they're also just, they provide me the lesson, or I could just pitch them to draw me cards if I'm in a bind. Mm-hmm. So then we went with the spells. So 4 of Picking on Neville, which seems to be, from looking at decks and talking with people, one of the best cards. So we're running 4 of that. The other thing we are running is 4 of Jawbind Potion. This just seems to be a card that kind of messes with your opponent for a turn. They can't play spells.
Yeah, it's a little mini action denial.
Yeah, and it does damage to them on top of it.
Yeah.
Then we've got like an action economy card with Bewitched Snowballs, which just deals damage to a creature or a player, and then draw a card.
Yep.
So, and then we have the action denial card from Quidditch Fouled. 4 copies of that.
Yep.
And then we have... These are my anti pep talk cards. So I got 1 copy of Flying Car.
That artwork is awesome.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
So cool.
1 copy of Loop the Loops. 1 copy of Fatiguing Potion. I only want
Fatiguing Fusion. Yeah.
I thought it was Potion. And then 1 copy of Wooden Flute.
All right.
So they all cost 8. They all do a thing.
And you got 1 of each color.
And I've got 1 of each color.
Nice.
And
I guess no red, but...
And then I went with 22 lessons because I figured I would want more lessons with this
Tom's
character.
Ability. Yeah.
And then I went with 1 copy of Penalty Shot since we are going to be lesson deck heavy. We might just want to draw a card.
Yeah.
And then obviously the card that was restricted, Dobby's Disappearance.
Mm-hmm. Which honestly, those books will probably also help you cycle through your deck if you just need to draw a bunch
Right.
of cards.
That's why I went with them. And then the other benefit is if I go turn 1 lesson, that gets me 2 lessons, which that means I could jam a book on turn 1.
Right.
So that's like the perfect turn 1 play. Do that, jam a book, and then the next turn you can play a lesson and
have 4.
And have 4.
Yeah.
Right off. Right off the bat.
Yep.
Actually, yeah, 4. Yep. So we'll see. With 4, we've got lots of 4s, so we'll have lots of options to be able to, play creatures, whatever. And if we don't, we also have these 3s on curve. So
yeah,
we'll see. I'm gonna shuffle this up.
So we're playing that against the
it was
Professor
Gen Con
McGonagall.
From 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah, the Gen Con 2018 first placed McGonagall list. We just pulled it from the TCG Revival website.
Oh, and as far as lessons go, again, what I did was I went with 10 copies of Care of Magical Creatures.
Okay.
And then I just went with 4 copies of all the other lessons.
That makes sense.
So
the deck was so creature heavy, that makes sense.
Yeah, the deck was creature heavy, and if this doesn't work out, I could always maybe readjust these numbers. But I'm thinking we will, at the very least, Tom's ability will be on full display.
Let's hope so.
So whether the deck's good is a whole nother story. So I'm going to shuffle up because that was sorted. And I don't know, do we have more questions in chat? Nope. Okay.
Nope.
Also, right now we are obviously streaming a bunch of Harry Potter on Mondays. So if you guys have content suggestions on what you would like to see from Harry Potter Revival streams for the TCG, please let us know. We are Home Base Games on Facebook. You can find our videos on our YouTube channel. Leave us a message. We'll respond. I would love to know what people want to see, what would make them tune in on Monday nights for a stream, what would make them want to see a YouTube video. I'm obviously learning this game still, so I do apologize if I don't know as much as some of the experienced players, but I've been playing games for a long time. I will catch up. I will learn. And as you'll see, I'm not afraid to get squished like a bug. Alright. I also don't know if you guys saw, but it's kind of not super relevant, but it is kind of cool. USAopoly makes a couple other Harry Potter games, and one of the things that they're coming out with is Harry Potter backed sleeves.
Yes.
For standard card games. So if you wanted to have all like your deck spanked out with Harry Potter backed sleeves.
Yeah, and it's the same card back as the game, which is basically a brown background with the Hogwarts crest on it.
Yeah,
it looks very cool.
It looks cool and it looks very Harry Potter, but I think they're also going to be coming out with house sleeves as well.
Yeah, that would be silly if they didn't. Carlos said he could lend you his cube to do a draft.
I would think that would be amazing.
Yeah, I don't know if you would need 4 players. Yeah, I would think you would need at least 4, right?
I would think you need 4, but maybe we could figure out rules with 2.
Yeah, maybe.
There are things you can do like I've done cube before with Magic where you have this big stack, and then you reveal 4 cards, and then you alternate in 2 players. Whoever picks first gets the first card. Then that person gets the next 2. They get to choose the next 2, and then the person who picked first gets the last card.
Okay.
And you just do that until you draft a deck. So we could probably do that with his cube and try it out.
Yeah, Carlos says you could do it like that.
Yeah.
We could try it.
I feel like this deck's bigger than it should be.
It's just
puffy. I think it's just puffy.
We just sleeved it.
Yeah. Unless I counted wrong, I put too many cards in here.
Oh, we can find out.
About to find out, right?
That's why you pile shuffle. Double check the count of your deck.
All right.
Yeah, I do really enjoy this game. It's honestly...
This is one of my favorite games.
It's
honestly.
Super fun. I'm very glad that we found it. I love how thematic it is. It's just, it's got some interesting game mechanics relative to other card games that I really enjoy that kind of take a little bit of the, random feel bads out of the game. Things like Mana Screw are hard to accomplish in this game because you have the ability to really draw as many cards as you want. Obviously, that can put you behind, but I think it's an interesting mechanic the way that the actions are done in this game. It's a little bit more unique, and I do enjoy it.
So I have 4 more cards in here than I should have.
Whoops.
Whoopsie.
Well, I mean...
We'll change that real quick.
Yeah.
I don't know what I did wrong, but I clearly miscounted.
Maybe just lessons? Pull too many lessons?
It could be. So we'll remove a couple.
Just pull one of each color, maybe.
No, I have a lot of the Care of Magical Creatures ones.
Okay.
So we'll pull 2 of those, and then we'll find 2 other cards. Apparently I miscounted. Not a big deal. Not a big deal.
Another Care of Magical
Creatures.
Yeah,
I pulled another Care of Magical Creatures. I gotta pull out one more card. Maybe we just pull out one of the creatures.
Sure.
Yeah, so we'll do. You know what? I'm gonna pull out. I'm just gonna pull out one copy of Black Bat.
One Black Bat.
And the only reason why I'm doing that is because I'm so high on the 4 cost with all my spells being 4.
Sure.
That I might be prioritizing the spells over the creature anyways with 4. So, alright, we'll cut those 4 cards, so now we have a legal 60 card deck. Let's try it out.
Yep.
And I didn't play any adventures. There was 2 adventure cards that were suggested, but with his ability of wanting to spend an action to play a resource, a lesson,
yeah,
I just didn't see any adventures that I really wanted to play.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And what does she just cancel? She cancels what? Oh, she just cancels an adventure. That was the other reason.
Oh, does she?
She just like makes you lose the first one you play.
You may discard the adventure your opponent has played. Oh, fair
so
enough.
It's like, why even play it? I'm just gonna spend 2 actions, and you're just gonna get rid of it.
Yeah.
So I have to spend 4 actions to play 1.
Yeah, that makes sense.
No thanks.
That makes sense.
All right. Let's roll. I got a 6. 5. All right. I'll play.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep this. It could get worse.
I think I'm gonna keep this as well. There's no reason why I can't. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play a lesson, and then I'm gonna just draw a card.
Okay.
Yeah.
Draw to start my turn. Then let's do lesson and Fantastic Beasts.
Okay. And what is that with the draw one?
It's a draw.
Okay.
Yep. It's a discard.
So it's my turn?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm going to play a lesson. And I'm going to trigger with him to play Errol. And when I play him, I reveal the top card. It's not a lesson. If it's a lesson, I'm putting it in your hand. If it isn't, put it back on top of your deck. Okay.
Yep. Just saying that there. So, question.
Yeah.
With unique characters and or creatures.
It only matters if you have it, I believe. It does. Okay. It's not unique to the game. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think that's the case.
Okay. Just curious.
Yeah.
Because I know Errol's in this deck. So.
Yeah, and we play Star Wars TCG, so I can see why that's confusing.
Correct. Well, and Magic Legendary rules are kind of the same with that regard.
Well, Magic Legendary rules are a little different. Now they work like it's each player.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. See, it's been a while since I played.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so drawing a card for start my turn. Let's do a lesson. And I will play my own Errol, assuming that is fine. Flip. Nope. Is it picking a Neville on top?
Okay.
All right.
My turn. Draw. Oh, it's a foul. Weird. Okay, so I deal you 1 damage with Errol. And then I'm going to play. Will I play a lesson? I think I'll play a lesson. And then I will play. What?
Could do a 4.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Yeah, I'll do a 4. I will foul you.
Okay.
So you take 4 damage. And you're up.
And I lose an action, right?
Yep, you lose an action, so you only get 1.
So draw to start my turn. Damage you for 1. I guess does damage happen before I draw? I don't know if it matters. I'm just kind of curious what the order of operations is there.
People can remind us.
Know.
I think you draw first and then you do damage.
I'm not sure it's relevant. I was just kind of curious what the order of operations is. Alrighty, and let's do a guide to magical pests.
Okay.
That's the one that can do 4 damage to a creature.
Sure. You're welcome to do it too.
Errol?
Yeah.
I can't, it's an action.
Ah. You done?
Yes.
Alright, draw. Damage you.
Okay, so Big Meek says there can only be 1 copy of unique cards in play.
Period. On both sides.
Yep. Only exception is starting Witch or Wizard.
So if I'm the first one to play one, it's a dead card in her deck?
Until I kill him, maybe?
That's interesting.
Which, honestly, it's an easy
just put
fix.
Another creature.
I'll just put a Sandstone Gargoyle in play instead.
And that
it deals the same amount of damage.
Deals 1.
Yeah, I wasn't able to put a lesson into play off of Errol anyway, so it really doesn't affect the game state in any way.
That's interesting. Okay. With that being said, I'm going to play a Beginner's Guide to Transfiguration.
Okay.
First action. And then second action, just to draw a card. You're up.
Alrighty. Draw for turn.
So I take 1.
You take 1.
Okay.
Thank you. And I do. I have 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's play a Cunning Fox.
Okay.
And draw a card.
Okay. My turn. Draw. So I have 4 now. I'm going to play Picking on Neville on the Cunning Fox.
All right.
So Picking on Neville is choose one of your opponent's cards and play. and discard it. Your opponent may prevent this by choosing 2 of his or her cards in play and discard them.
Yep, which I'm not going to do.
Okay, so that was one action.
Yep.
Second action, I'm going to play a black bat.
All right.
Which, when I play it, you take 2.
Okay.
And, yeah.
Draw for turn.
Did you take the one for Errol? Earl? I don't know if I don't think you did.
I don't think I did either.
There you go.
All right.
And if we make a mistake, guys, please let us know. Like I said, we are not, we've definitely less than 50 games played.
Yeah. Take one.
Yep.
And yeah, Carlos is thinking that each player can have a unique one. So we'll have to check with the HPTCG rules.
Yeah, we'll have to check the rules. I would think each player, unless there was some kind of... It would seem weird that if I played a card, you just can't play that same card unless you kill mine. There's not that much kill in this game.
Right.
In Magic, that makes sense when you have lightning bolts and swords and plowshares and a million things to kill creatures.
Right. So I guess let's...
Location makes sense because you play a location and get rid of the other one.
Right. Let's do a Stream of Flames on Errol.
On Errol? Oh, so you can play your own?
So I can play my own.
Okay, that works.
Assuming that that's the rule.
Okay.
It's a little overkill, but is what it is. So, then I'm going to play Errol. It's my second action.
Yep.
Sad face. Great. Okay, that's it. So, start of your turn, I'm taking a damage.
Yep, just one. Alright, draw.
Yep.
Alright. I'm going to play a lesson. And then I am going to play... Sandstone Gargoyle. Okay. Oh, and you took 2 for the bat.
Oh, it's 2? I was thinking it was 1.
Okay.
All right.
And that's all I got. So I'm going to take 2?
2.
They're each one?
They're each one.
All right.
All right.
It's kind of interesting seeing the rainbow out here.
Yeah, that looks cool. Unfortunately, you've made me discard every single lesson outside of the ones that I've had in play. I had at the start of my hand. These were the 2 lessons in my starting hand, and I've discarded every single other one. So thank God I have these books. Otherwise, I'd be in trouble.
Oh, and McGonagall. So, I mean, you have the same amount of resources as I do.
Yeah. All right. Let's... do another Stream of Flames targeting your Sandstone Gargoyle.
Okay.
So 3 damage. And let's play Black Bat myself.
Okay.
Okay, that's all I got.
So Black Bat hits me for 2.
And
I already took those.
Oh, okay.
Alright, my turn?
Mm-hmm.
Draw. Alright, deal you 2.
So, Carlos has a little bit more information.
Okay.
Big Meek posted a link that has the CCG rules uniqueness. The uniqueness rule does apply to 2 different unique cards that represent the same character. For example, here the Seeker is in play. Nobody can play Harry Potter or Harry the Seeker card from the set.
Okay.
So, yeah, it seems like outside of your starting wizard, 2 players cannot have the same unique
card in play. Interesting. All right. Well, I'm going to play a lesson. And...
learning stuff. Thanks, guys.
That was one action. I think I'm going to use my next action to... Yeah, my next action, I'm just gonna return your gargoyle to your hand.
Okay.
And I get an additional action, and I'm gonna draw a card.
Alright.
And I'm done.
Okie dokie. So you're taking 3.
Yep.
Let's do Bewitching Snowballs. So it's 3 damage to a creature and draw a card.
Okay.
Then let's play a Marble Gargoyle.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Alright, so we're gonna play a potion for an action.
Mm-hmm.
Trigger Riddle. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
8.
8. Yep. And we're gonna play Flute, and we're gonna turn all your creatures to your hand.
Oh, that seems mean. Alright.
And
that was effective.
You're up.
Okay. Don't you have another action to play?
No, the action was playing a lesson and playing Flute.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Draw. Well, let's start with replaying Errol.
Okay.
Hey! It works. Good job, Errol. And replaying my Marble Gargoyle.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Alright. Draw. We're gonna play Picking on Level.
Mm-hmm.
And the gargoyle.
Makes sense.
And then we're gonna play our own gargoyle.
Sure.
And you're up.
Okay.
Take 1.
Yep. What?
Did you draw?
Did not. Let's just play snowballs.
Man,
3 damage.
snowball. I'm getting buried in snowballs.
And the black bat.
Okay, taking 2.
3.
Why
Black bat
3?
deals 2.
I already took 1.
Oh.
You have to do that. You do that before you play cards.
Oh, I see what you. Oh, okay. Yeah.
All right, you done?
Yes.
Draw.
I'm sorry.
All
I
right.
was definitely wrong. Thank you.
All right.
Carlos also said that order of operations is draw a card, then creatures do damage.
Right. That's kind of what I thought.
Perfect.
Thank you, Carlos. Okay.
I don't know that it's ever relevant, but I was just kind of curious.
I'm gonna just play a gargoyle.
Uh-huh.
And then follow you for 4.
Right. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. And you're up. So now I take 3.
Uh-huh. Let's play a marble gargoyle.
Okay.
And another bat.
Okay.
So take 2 from the bat.
Yep.
And I'm done.
Creatures are a real problem.
Yeah,
all
well,
right.
that's what this McGonagall deck does. It's super creature heavy.
You take 2.
Yep. Thank you.
I'll play a potions. I'll be at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
8, 9.
8, 9. I'll use the potions to play Loop-de-Loop, do 4 damage to you, and then I draw 4 cards. Okay. So that was it. You're up.
Yep. So 1, 5, plus 2, so 7.
Jeez. Okay.
And let's do a Steel Claw. Another 7.
This game was doing okay.
And
I don't think you could do more than 2 actions. Oh no, you only did the steel claw.
I only did the one.
Yeah.
And
that card's really good.
well, yes. Let's just kill this to kill your gargoyle.
Okay. All right. Pretty sure I'm dead now. Yeah. I only have 3 cards left.
I'm going to commit suicide.
Yeah, I'm not going to even give you the satisfaction. Dead. No answers. All right. Well, McGonagall smoked me at the end there. Felt like I was doing okay, but I couldn't. I never drew any of my removal cards.
That's a good point, Carlos. I should have killed your gargoyle first, because then my gargoyle does 3 extra damage, and I would have just killed you anyway.
You can't kill my gargoyle first.
I killed your gargoyle with this before I did skill claw. That's what I say.
Oh, right. Before he does steel claw. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
yep.
Yeah.
You
sense.
are right.
Yep. Perfect. All right, I'll try again. The deck didn't work. Didn't seem like it worked bad, but again, it was the McGonagall.
This deck is just
McGonagall
crazy
just
strong.
has so much removal for creatures.
Yeah.
And I was holding her off. I thought the flute play might get me back into it, but I think in order for the flute play to get me back into it, I need to be able, because I was short on resources, if I could have fouled you first and then fluted you, and then you could only get 1 action on the next turn,
yeah,
I think that would have...
that could have definitely put me back, because all I did was play 2 creatures a turn for the rest of the game, basically.
I know. Yeah, and I just couldn't. And I had... every time you damaged me, you discarded a snowball. I have snowballs in my deck, so I never played them.
Sure.
Alright. Let's try again.
Yep.
But that's how you learn.
Yep. That deck doesn't seem bad. I think it would probably do fine against one of these other random decks. That
I also think it would be fine if it was tested and fine-tuned. I think it actually could be a thing.
Yeah.
Again, there's not really a big strategy. Like, that deck has quite a good strategy to it. This one's just playing 4 of all the good cards in a color, I think. Although I might want to find a better card in Potions than Jawbone Potion. I don't know if that's the good card to play. It definitely wouldn't have helped me if I drew it in this game. Because all you were doing is just laying creatures.
Yeah.
Although if you didn't mill me for that extra, when you milled me, my next draw card was going to be a card that can hit you for 9, and I think your deck was pretty low.
Yeah, it might have been very close.
Let's try again. Beauty of this game is
it's pretty fast.
Games are very fast.
Just pretty fast.
All right, so I lost. I'm gonna be on the play again. All right.
I don't think I can keep this. I don't have the resource colors I need, so I think I'm gonna use the TCG Mulligan rule, throw it all back, and
sure.
Draw a new 7.
I think, though, if I played this deck, I think I would probably want to play actually more of the spellbook cards.
Yeah, maybe.
I really like the idea of playing only one lesson a turn and playing a lesson on turn 1 to like curve out turn 1, play a lesson, play a spellbook, ramp to 3, next turn, play a 3 drop.
And Carla just kind of pointed out, is Tom Riddle better for aggro or for combo? Because obviously as you progress through the game, there's less things that are super expensive. So his ability doesn't come into play as often?
Yeah, I mean that's why I added the 8 cost cards in the deck.
Yeah.
Because it was I was getting to a curve.
Yeah.
I almost wonder if he wants to. I'm not really sure. I don't know if he wants to be.
There's probably a couple of strategies that
he
are good
might
with him.
want to. Yeah, he might be a combo deck because now you can combo cards from all 5 colors.
Right.
So maybe he is just a combo deck, and you're just trying to pull off combos, right?
Yeah.
I mean, one of the suggestions that we got for a deck list was to run the Dobby's Help and Venomous Tentacular Juice combo, which is the same combo we have in the Snape deck.
Yeah.
And I just didn't want to do that because we already have that deck.
Sure.
So if they had a different combo that used him, I would be all for it. But like, basically,
yeah, we've already played that.
We've already played that deck. I wanted to play something different, and 5 colors seemed fun.
Absolutely.
So.
All right. Well, we have more.
Okay.
Lessons, so we'll let it go.
All right. So I'll play a Care of Magical Creatures, trigger Tom, and play a Guide to Transfiguration.
Okay.
You're up.
I'm going to draw a card. And I'm just going to do lesson.
Okay. Go. Draw.
Yep.
And I'm going to play a lesson. So I got 1, 2, 3 plus 4th. So I'll play Jawbind Potion, deal you 2, and you cannot play any spells.
All right.
Not a big deal. Go ahead.
Draw?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do lesson.
Yep.
Black bat.
Okay, so I take 2.
Yep.
There goes one of the snowballs.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. Done?
Yes.
Draw. Alright, play a lesson. So now I have 5. And I'll snowball that black bat. And draw a card.
One thing I would like to see is a spell that's kind of like an earthquake, basically, where you can split up your damage, because it feels like a lot of the deal damage are 3, 4, whatever, and so many of these things have 1 or 2 health, and it just like the efficiency,
it would be pretty insane.
I
think that would be a pretty powerful card because
it could just be expensive, that could help you get
there is a card that like destroys all creatures.
Oh really?
Yeah, it is in Transfiguration. It is called, I had it right here. Transfiguration Exam. Discard all creatures from play.
Oh snap!
It's like a Wrath for 10.
Yeah. Big Meek suggested maybe Tom could clean up the Spiral Dive Draco's Trick Diagon Alley combo. I have no idea what that is.
So wait, what is it again? Spiral Dive?
Spiral Dive.
Draco's
Trick.
Okay.
Diagon Alley.
So it's a 3-card combo.
It's a 3-card combo.
I will look into that.
Yeah.
Because that sounds awesome.
Yeah. No idea what it does, but
if you could send me, if you don't mind sending me a message so I don't have to find it in the chat.
I'll write it down.
Send me a message on Homebase Games or on Harry Potter Revival, the post I made. Just put it in the comments.
Yeah.
Either way, I'll find it.
Yeah. I'm totally down with trying different strategies with him, and while we're going through it, or any of the other characters that are spoiled. All right. So I drew my card.
Yep.
I'm going to play a lesson. And play a Cunning Fox.
Okay. All right. My turn?
Yes.
Draw. All right. I'm going to play a lesson. I'm going to play Dobby's Disappearance to return the fox to your hand, and I get an additional action, which I'll use to play Penalty Shot.
Okay. You got it.
Draw 3. You're up.
Draw. So I will replay the Cunning Fox. And I will play Guide to
Household pets.
pets.
Okay. My turn?
Yep.
Draw. Alright. And what do I have? 5. Okay. Let's just play Sandstone Gargoyle and Sandstone Gargoyle.
Yeah.
And say go.
That's angry.
Alright, I'm taking 3.
3. Let's do a picking on Neville on one of your gargoyles.
Okay. Or I discard 2 lessons.
Or 2 cards. Just 2 cards in general.
Alright, let's lose his 2 lessons.
Okay. And let's do a Charms book.
Okay. My turn?
Yep.
Draw. You take 2. I'm going to play a lesson and use his ability to follow you for 4.
All right.
And you're up.
Draw. I take 4.
Yep.
Or no, you take 3. I'm sorry.
I take 3, yeah.
It's my turn. Hello. Let's play another Cunning Fox.
Ugh. Okay.
And blue wig you. 4 damage to you. And I draw a card.
Alright. Yeah, I think the problem with McGonagall is her action economy is just so good. It's hard to get above. It's hard to get above her.
Yeah, she's definitely tier 1.
All right. So hit you for 2.
Oh, thanks, Big Meek. He said he posted a video on our Facebook page.
Thank you, sir.
Combo, so perfect.
2.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'll be excited to see what kind of crazy bananas combo that is.
Picking on Neville.
Sure.
And you're up.
Do I care? Do I want to just discard 2 other things?
I don't know. Okay. You're up.
I think dealing 6 is better.
Yeah, seems good. I can definitely tell if I'm going to play this deck competitively, I need more creature removal.
Yeah.
I mean, because
well, you've
already milled 3 of my creature removal cards, so I'm in the either that or I need to play zigzag so I can get them back. But that's terrible because playing a card to get a card to play a card.
Yeah, it's very bad action economy. All right, snowballs.
Yeah. I think that's the 3rd one you've played on me already.
I think only the 2nd. You might have made me discard 1.
Yeah, 2nd. Yeah. Okay.
Let's play Lost Notes. I'm going to try and target your book and make you discard it.
Okay, how do you do that?
Choose one of your opponent's items or lessons in play and discard it.
So why do you say try? It just kills it.
Oh, I guess
you're very, very confusing when you say that.
I'm used to Magic and having responses to things.
Like counter spells?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, what are you talking about? Okay. All right.
That's it.
Draw. Take 1. Man. I'll just play my 5th lesson. Killing that was horrible. Go.
Oh, sorry.
Yep. No, it's not your fault. It was just really bad timing. I was not expecting that card to happen.
6.
Yep. 3, 6. There's the 3rd snowball.
And let's play a creature's book.
Uh-huh.
And honestly, just sack it and draw 3.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. Let's play Earl.
Arrow.
Nothing. And we'll follow you for 4.
You got it.
And you're up.
6.
Yep.
And do 2 more because I'm playing it back flat.
Ugh. Okay.
Go ahead.
Take 3. And play Gargoyle and follow you. And you're up.
8.
I only have 7. It's game.
Right. Yeah, I think honestly that's probably not just a different pairing.
No, I actually don't think this deck is terrible.
I don't. I just think McGonagall is super strong.
I think she's strong, but the obvious weakness is picking on Neville is not enough to deal with the creatures because, like you did, you just paid and ignored it.
Correct.
Snowballs was fine, but only having 4 and then you milling 3 of them was a problem.
Right.
That happened both games. So I only played 1 card to get rid of creatures.
Yeah.
So I definitely think if you're going to play against a strong creature deck, then this deck just needs probably at least 8 cards that kill creatures.
Yeah.
So
I'm wondering
the Jawbone Potion I would probably maybe take out for a card, another card that maybe does more direct damage to a creature. There might be, let's see, if there is a spell, and maybe someone knows in chat if there's a green potions card. The only reason I want green, I want my all my cards to like do good stuff. And I want of every color.
He had said using Rose Growth as an option, which I think I actually just saw.
Rose Growth is a blue. It's a charms. That's a really good card. I just didn't want to make the deck all. Okay. Well, I'll look through some cards. I'll maybe update this. But if anyone has suggestions on cards I should play, leave me a message.
Or suggestions for how to use some of the other previewed cards, and we can use those in a deck.
Yeah. If you guys have suggestions for any of the cards that we previewed a deck, and you want to see us play it on stream, send me the deck list. I will happily try it out on stream. You could even tell me what you want us to play it against. I will build it. So these are the other previewed cards. If you want to just cycle through them real quick.
So obviously we know Tom, Lucius, Dippet, Wandering Nocturne, the Basilisk, Basilisk's Fang.
Yep.
And then the Mandrake Draught.
Yeah. So if anyone has a deck they want us to try it on stream with any of those cards, please send it to me. I might try make this like a little project for me and see if I can get this 5-color deck to work.
Yeah, I think we could try it against some of these other decks that we've already got pre-built just to kind of see how it goes.
I think testing against McGonagall is a good test because I mean that's what you're going to face when you go to a tournament.
Yeah, but I mean.
So I just want to I wanted to play the deck and get a feel against. It did not feel as bad to me as when I tried to play Quidditch against.
Quidditch against it, yeah.
At least was a wrecking. I just felt like your deck was more efficient, and I was always behind. Yeah. That was my issue. So I need
Big Meek suggested Bloodroot Poison to deal 4 damage to your opponent or a creature.
What?
We have to discard a potion to do it.
Oh, we have to discard a potion resource?
Yeah.
That doesn't seem bad. Bloodroot.
Bloodroot Poison Harry Potter TCG.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, you found it?
Oh, it's a 2-cost. Bloodroot
Yeah.
Poison. To play this card, discard one of your potion unless do 4 damage to your opponent or to a creature. Oh, that might be possible.
Yeah.
And it's 2, which is nice and cheap.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we could try that maybe.
The only thing with that one is that one requires me to have a potion in play.
Yeah.
So that is kind of... I don't know. I'll have to do a little research and see if I can make... Ooh, what's this? Dog's Bane Potion. Choose one of your opponent's creatures in play and do 3 damage to it. That might just be better.
Big Meek also suggested Bundamum Ooze.
Ooh, what's that?
I do remember that card art. Bundamum Ooze. I'm looking to see if I can find the rarity. It is an uncommon potion that costs 5.
Okay.
Your opponent chooses one of his or her creatures or items in play and discards it. Then he or she takes damage equal to that card's printed power cost.
Ooh, I like this.
Makes sense as an ooze.
Yeah.
The only downside is your opponent gets to choose what gets oozed.
Oh, well, yeah, we already said how I don't like that.
But,
Bundamum Potion.
So it's not super great against...
uncommon?
Yeah. I've seen that card art. I know we have that card.
Oh, yeah.
Plus 5.
Choose your opponent chooses one of his or her creatures or items in play.
Right.
Or items.
Yeah. So that's probably that's the quote-unquote sideboard card in my opinion. It can be very useful against certain decks that aren't super creature heavy or are relying on items to do their thing.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. If you're playing in a tournament and that McGonagall's in the field, you might sideboard more for that deck to make your deck like you might sideboard more of a certain type of card. I will say with Tom, I never, even with the resource setup, there was never a time where I couldn't play a card because I didn't have a magic resource color.
That's true.
Ever. The whole game. It was never a problem.
That's awesome. That makes 5 color a very viable strategy.
And there was a couple times where I was actually able to get to that 8 threshold without an issue. That game, I couldn't get to 8 because I discarded the 2 lessons early to keep my stuff alive.
Right.
But it was awesome. I had a good time. Thank you, everybody.
I do think the HP Revival group has done a great job with these cards. I'm really excited to see what else they've come up with.
Yeah.
So thank you to that group for allowing us to do these previews. We love it.
Yep.
So thank you for including us and partnering with us in that. We're super excited to be able to do this for the community and test out this good, fun stuff. Hopefully, I think the set's probably going to drop in like a week or 2. Full set?
Yeah, it comes at the end of the month. I believe the full set is released at the end of the month.
So we'll have to do some cool, fun stuff, and maybe honestly, we can work with them to see if we can organize just like a casual league with just the new expansion. I don't know. I don't know if there's enough cards in the expansion to just play with cards from this new stuff.
No, there's only 70. It's only a 75 card set. Okay. But I am positive they're gonna do some kind of organized play program. Sure. So, which I think is great. Yeah. And fantastic. I have offered if they do need something, you can always ask. Yeah.
All right. Well,
that's kind of our wheelhouse is organized play. So,
well, thanks everybody for participating. We really appreciate you guys kind of chiming in with some ideas and helping us with some of these rules that we didn't know. That's really helpful. We love your participation and your engagement. As we've said, we do post all these replays on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/homebasegames. We also are probably going to work on writing some content for our actual website as well, homebasegames.com, just related to this game as we really delve into it a little bit more, particularly with this new fan expansion. But thanks everybody for joining us. Feel free to subscribe if you're enjoying this content, and we will talk to you next week. Thanks so much.